All right, welcome to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel, your go-to place for non-staff, non-biased, multi-style reviews. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring the high ref perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I will be bringing the low ref perspective.
All right, today we're going to be looking at the brand new Columbia 300 Rally, and I'm going to be comparing it to the Rotogrip Gem and the Hammer Special Effect.
And I'll be comparing it to the Attention Star S2 and the Special Effect. These reviews will give us and you an idea of what these rocks look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, non-biased review of these pieces anywhere from nuts to trash. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
All right, just wrapped up throwing the brand new Columbia 300 Rally, and for me, I feel like this ball doesn't look the greatest to my eye, just the way it looks, but going down the lane, it actually surprised me, and I thought it was really good going down the lane. I feel like it blended a somewhat cliff toe shot very well. When I got it in the oil, it really dug in and wanted to go left. But when I got it to the friction, it was actually really rounded off of it and quite a bit more forward through the pins, which I like to see. So now we're going to go ahead and compare that to the Rotogrip Gem. All right, just wrapped up throwing the Rotogrip Gem, and compared to the Rally, I feel like they were very similar going through the front part of the lane, but they were just a little bit different off the end of the pattern. I feel like the Gem is probably one of the strongest, more tumbly ball that you'll probably ever see. So I feel like the Rally just gets down the lane a little bit more and is a little bit quicker to the friction than the Gem was, but both are obviously very forward through the end of the pattern and the pins. I'm gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Hammer Special Effect and see how that compares. All right, just wrapped up throwing 5 shots with the Hammer Special Effect, and compared to the Rally, the Special Effect is definitely more down lane. I feel like this is probably one of the most clean, bigger asymmetric pieces that I've seen, and it's definitely more angular than the Rally was. I can just definitely see it being a little bit more continuous through the pins, as where the Rally is quite a bit more forward through the pins as well. All right, final thoughts on the Columbia 300 Rally. For me, I really like the shape of this one going down the lane. I feel like it's going to be a really good league ball, and especially on patterns that have a little bit more oil, I feel like this one will just blend the pattern really well, and I really like the shape that it gave me through the pins as well. I think I'm going to have to give this one a fire. Again, I'm not a fan of the colors. Doesn't look the greatest to the eye, but shape-wise, I feel like it was really good going down the lane.
Just wrapped up throwing 10 shots with the Columbia 300 Rally. This ball for me felt like it was kind of in that bigger type rollier shape. However, I just felt like it wasn't suited for what we were bowling on today. I felt like when it saw the friction, it just kind of went forward off of it, and I felt like it wasn't enough continuation to go through the pins for what's out there right now. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 10 shots with the Rotogrip Attention Star S2 and see how it compares. After throwing the Attention Star S2, I felt like this ball shaped a little better. Compared to the Rally, I felt like it was a little more down lane, a little bit more angular. Could be just because it has somewhat more lane shine on it, but it definitely was able to float through the fronts a lot easier than the Rally. I felt like I had to I could be a little softer and get away with it and even keep it a little bit more in front of me, and it still wouldn't jump as soon. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the hammer special effect. After throwing the special effect, I felt like this one was the easiest of all 3 balls to get through the fronts. I felt like I didn't have to force it to that spot. I felt like I could just ease it down the lane. However, today it's been one of those days where if you get too slow, it's still Caesarly friction, and that's how I kind of felt with this ball, where I still needed to get around it enough to get it through that spot. I like the ball motion for what we're bowling on right now, but compared to the speed, I felt like it was a lot cleaner and a lot smoother of a shape. Final thoughts on the Columbia 300 Rally. I feel like this ball for me is not probably going to be one of those ones where I take out of my bag very much. I feel like it's just a little too kind of in between balls for me, where it wants to be early, but it just kind of still is a little cleaner than like a big ball. Reminds me of like that kind of like an Evo hybrid kind of shape. So for me, I'm gonna have to give this ball a meh. I don't see this ball, like I said, I don't see myself throwing it very much. It's either I need something bigger for when there's more volume, or something that gets through it a little bit easier when they start to hook. So just feel like there's a kind of a weird time for me to throw this type of bowling ball. So meh for today.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.